Can you believe I cut these nice rafter tail moldings using a jigsaw? I wanted to put to the test this jig with bearings that keeps the jigsaw blade vertical. Notice that this model has the support at the back instead of on the side. I leave a link in the description to the video where I made it on my other channel. Okay, I guess this is going to be the easiest rafter tail design to cut. Important, I have to stop before reaching the corner. I want to make sure I don't cut beyond the corner. Well, sometimes I have to remove the blade to take out the jigsaw. To finish cutting this molding, I have to make a couple more cuts. And it's not bad. Okay, the cut isn't right up against the line, but for this job I don't need to be super precise about that. What does matter to me is that the cut is super vertical. If it wasn't, it wouldn't look good when installing the rafters. Also, the surface of the cut is pretty smooth, and with a bit of sanding, it'll be perfect. And the corner can easily be cleaned up with a chisel in no time. Since these are just test cuts, I now have to cut here to continue with the next rafter tail design. So, let's see how it cross-cuts. Let's cut it 90 degrees. And there it is, a perfect 90-degree cut, no matter how you look at it. I think I'll retire my circular saw tomorrow. Let's cut this rafter tail profile. It has tight curves. I drew that one, very tight, at the corner. If it doesn't come out well, sure, I can easily fix it with a rasp. Okay, as expected. These curves are a bit tight for this cutting blade, and even more so with this jigsaw, because I cannot slow down it. I should have let the blade breathe now and then to cool it down. But, like this, we can see how it turns out. I mean, if I try to make the cut all at once. And it's not bad. I had a feeling I had burnt the wood because I could smell it. But still, even though the blade was cutting under strain, it made a pretty good cut. However, with such tight curves, keeping the cut close to the line is trickier. The vertical cut is perfect. This needs a touch-up with the rasp. These crossbars usually go slanted with the roof. I love how this rafter tail looks slanted, with the waves almost horizontal. Now I want to make the cut right on this line. There we see it, set up with the cutting blade right next to the line. Well, this cut, more than acceptable. But I should have paid more attention to the line than to the camera. Sometimes you have to stop the cut and remove wood on the outside curve to make space for the cutting blade to turn. But when the outside of the curve is part of the molding, we cannot do that. We need to keep that in mind when designing and drawing shapes if we're going to cut them with a jigsaw. Since the cutting blade stays so vertical, I can make touch-ups with the jigsaw. A few touch-ups with the rasp on the tight curves, and done. The wider curve is perfect for a quick sanding. And as you know, the inside of the corners is cleaned with the chisel. Overall, it's a good cut, and the rafter tail profile looks very nice. In the next molding, I have an angled cut, so I take the opportunity to make a miter cut with the jigsaw. Look at that great miter cut. I don't know what angle I drew, to be honest, but look at this. It would make a pretty good joint. Now, cutting these little curves is going to be another story. Wow, I thought this notch would be easier to cut. They are very short curves, but it's still hard to turn. A few touch-ups and it's good to go. How lazy I am for not removing the cutting blade. Well, it smells a bit burnt, but it cut that circle better than expected. And now I have to touch up that very tight inside curve. With a half-round rasp. This time I have to do more work than with the other rafter tail profiles, but it will still be quick to do. I saw this rafter tail design in online photos from a company I think is called Vermont Timber Works, and I drew it freehand. The others are more typical, with some of my modifications. Honestly, this rafter tail profile looks great. It even has this knot that looks like an eye. And now, well, let's see if this shape I got, which looks like a dove, turns out well or not. This cut was harder than expected. And right there, the back of the jig bumps into the wood. But, by chance, it's right at the end of the cut. A bit of rasping for touch-ups. And what do you think? If I make a hole for the eye and carve the shape of the wings a bit, I think it can look very nice. What do you think? Which is your favorite rafter tail design? And did you know that with a jigsaw you could cut these nice designs in these wooden rafter tails and make these profiles that look this good? Thanks for watching the video. And if you liked it, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to get notifications every time I upload a new video.